Rome Total War. A soundtrack that I think people should be listening. I already made this kind of intro, said what it is, but like it was of course there was this award called BAFTA given it to it, and for a good reason. This soundtrack is unique. So some background for people who don't know RTS game. Basically some this is a there's this game is like a very historical thing. You control a nation in Roman times. There was Greeks, Gauls, and all the other people, and Romans, of course. And you control them and fight in this kind of turn-based thing on the world map. Control armies, and when armies clash together, then there's this real-time 3D space when you control the whole army and attack against the people and such. Very excellent game. I did play this a ton. It's there's this few combinations that there's a good game and a good soundtrack. So sometimes it's it only gets the one of the ones right. Like sometimes they just get the soundtrack right. Sometimes they get the actual game right. But this time they got both of them right. This game is very fast-paced, strategical, and that's why I love it. Because the thing is, if you my big thing is that I'm never going to be an army general in real life because of the real life, the army system and such, of course, is very much like in the game you are handed the general title without really doing much. But of course the army thing is very much like nowadays, and armies, of course, you don't have big wars to control stuff if you really want to be a general. But the thing is, if you are not in America, but the thing is, if you are for me personally, not very big fan of commanding people to be killed if there's not really a good cause for it. So that's also a thing. It's good to do it in a game environment when there's no people getting killed, and that's a kind of a lovely thing. I like very much strategy games because you need to think a lot. Let me actually put the music on. Let me know if the audio levels are fine. In Twitch we have one viewer, and in YouTube, I don't know what about YouTube. We have 2 people watching right now. Hello there. Who are these people who are watching in the shadows? Who are the shadows watching? Good to have you here. Good to have you here. But now, let's listen to the sound. Let me know if the audio levels are alright, because I want both the audio for the stream to be able to be alright. Is it now okay? Hey, is it now okay? Is it too loud or is it not too loud? Is it now too quiet? I'm not sure. Let's use this one at least right now. Like I cannot hear the stream myself fully, but I think this works. This game, the soundtrack is very varied. That's full of variety. The whole thing is that the very interesting time of Roman times, of the 200 year before Christ, before century, whatever term you use, that time was very interesting. There were many cultures, different kind of warfare tactics, and all of them fought for dominance in the area. The Carthaginians, Carthage as a nation, and also Romans, of course, and there were basically Gauls and Germanic tribes and many different nations that were trying to be there. Of course, Greeks and such. All these fascinating different cultures that were, of course, dominated later by Romans. Having these all nations fight in control, it's very fascinating. Very fascinating. All these battle strategies. Of course, it's not fully realistically historical in every single terms, because when you start with the Romans, there's only 3 factions, 3 families, which are not historical. There were so many different families trying to control the Rome, but it's still like in a game sense. And in historical sense, it's like plausible, and in game sense, it's wonderful. In game sense, it's wonderful. Yeah, and all these lovely tunes, like. yeah, it's not just the Rome. It's also like so many other things, like the Egypt, Greeks, all the Arab tribes, all the nations at that time. Very, very fascinating. So all sorts of different nations back in the day, different groups of people, and you have a chance to use them in this game. And the war, of course, it's the whole simulation of the war is very fast paced. When you go to the future Rome Total War games, it always try to be more cinematical, and the gameplay kind of took back seat if the cinematics were not right. And I think that's the Rome Total War. You can have these big routes. People can if you have a bunch of peasants and you fight against elephants, like the peasants can just run away without actually fighting. There's this one. I like doing modding sometimes for games, which I like, especially this one. There's this one setup in the modding that I could not do that people never run away. There's this kind of setup there. I once tried it, and the thing is, the whole game is very much the strategy and battles. Like you have archers, you have spearmen, you have all these fighters. It's very much turned on the fact that you have different sort of you have different layers of battle. You have of course the soldiers, but you have also you try to keep people not to rout. You try to keep them not to be fearing the enemy troop. And usually the quickest way to defeat the troops is just to get the massive rout, kill the enemy general, and just go for it. And it was my first experience for these sort of games. Of course, there have been RTS games before, but this game took it from a very different angle, especially at the time, which is I think still unmatched, I suppose, because of course there are these grand strategy games. Which you have a big map, you can control every single detail, but in terms of real-time strategy in 3D space with armies, Rome Total War and Total War games are very excellent, even to this day, I suppose. Haven't tried the news yet. For this one I want to. Romans marching forward. I think this is okay audio volume. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We have two people watching. Let yourselves be known in the chat. We are listening in the Rome Total War soundtrack made by Creative Assembly. What was the year when they made it? Let me check. Let me check. Rome Total War. In 2004, published by Activision of all companies. There was a more iPad version 2016, iPhone version in 2017. I can actually get the iPad version. Well, there's no Android version. But anyways, it's still done. So the people still have it all the places. And as a mobile game man, this is an excellent choice if you have iPad and such. It's even worth paying $10, I think, because of course the game is incredibly well. There's hours of play time. You can play hours of this game, especially the game type of that. This is for iPads and Android game phone and such. It works. It just works. That's it. What it does.
Combat music.
Yes, hello Ebay15610. Good to see some new faces, I think. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Can you hear the music over my, does the audio level sound alright to you? Because in the stream I can, I'm not really sure how my voice sounds, because of course it was confused a lot. I don't have these big mixer tables. But let me know if the audio levels are right. And how is your day going? Are you big Rome Total War fans? Let me know. I used to play this a lot. And especially, I really like having this kind of sort of hard battles, like these sort of commanding again like peasantry folk against some kind of hoplites that are trying to beat them with the worst infantry ever. Very, very fun.
Good, and yourself? I've been a long time lover of RTW and RTW by.
Such a good game. Excellent games. I feel the newest Rome and Total War games have kind of lost their edge, especially in music areas. I have not tried Rome Total War 2 because of the fact that I bought it and it never worked. And if I tried to install it again and again back in the day, and it never worked. There was sort of a big bug, something like that. And I just got turned off by the whole thing because of that. Well, perhaps it's now better. But I just like the kind of the gameplay feel. I've seen some people talk about the Rome Total War 2 one. They took more cinematic angle, I think, over the fast-paced strategic angle. I hope I'm right in that. I'm not sure because I've played all the newer games. But I'm doing fine. My eye is a little red because of course it's not too bad. That's my dish working hard. Currently,
I never moved beyond medieval to TW.
Same here.
Despite RTW games being kind of broken, I hear the battle speeches no longer are a thing.
No battle speeches, and in the newest game with the Three Kingdoms, you can have only a limited amount of troops around the map. Like you cannot split the troops like in all the games. Like let's say you have a big army of 8, 8 troops or something. You cannot split the one archer to go in this direction and the rest of the troops to go this direction. You cannot do that anymore. And these weird restrictions, I think, Creative Assembly, something has changed with their kind of mindset of developing these games. Very much not a big fan of that. I never moved over Rome to my medieval Total War myself. I tried Napoleon, but I was not a big fan. It was just like you have gun units, and that was about it. And the ship battles were interesting. I wish there would have been 6 ship battles in medieval and in Rome Total War. That would have been interesting. But the fact that I think that I've seen many people talk about these games, and just looking at them, the gameplay and such, the whole meat of the experience has been taken so much away. Oh yes, there's also the Alexander expansion. Let me actually find a picture of it here. Let's look at the covers. There's this one, Total War Alexander. You see the picture? Let me yeah, this one. I actually played it. I purchased back in the day some kind of special edition that had all the extra discs in there. I played this Alexander expansion, and that was even fun. I think, and I've been seeing some modded games of it. I've even modded this myself, this engine, and it's man. You can. I've even seen a medieval Total War just recently made in the World War II simulator. This sort of all the nations in the World War II fighting each other, and I don't know. Especially music, they have not really done too much. Recently, I think, like, I'm not a big fan of the current. I just have to be outright. I listen to the Total War soundtracks always when they release, and not big fan of the current development in there. Not big fan. Jeff Van Dyck was who made these soundtracks. Even for Shogun 2, excellent. He knew what to do with melodies, and he's still successful in his career. Very much, I'm going to say that. So that's all about it. Rome Total War medieval soundtrack is as well.
I played the Alexander expansion only once. I did not pick up any interest in it, but I play much more than standard RTW.
I actually have to say, like, the barbarian invasion was very interesting. Of course, the Rome campaign and such. I like that, but I just there's so much variety. I think the original standard Rome Total War. I used to play that much more, and I like the multiplayer, especially in that, because the factions feel more distinct. Like the barbarian invasion itself, it has this sort of how do you say it? when the barbarian invasion, there's so many barbarian factions. Like everybody has a very similar type of unit. It's like the same with Napoleon Total War, because Napoleon Total War, everybody has just gun units, some horseback rider units and such. Like there's so much more variety in, I think, Rome Total War on my mind. Alexander was it was a kind of a short, interesting kind of thing. You played once, and I liked the campaign and such for that. It was nice. It was nice. Kind of course, when you played all the campaigns already, it's nice to get some fresh new campaigns. Indeed, so there were I think like 4 factions in the whole expansion, but still nice one. And also, like there are some historical battles in like this, not just campaigns, but historical battles, which were like there were speeches before that and such. Like this game was very much for any kind of any interested people who were interested about this kind of historical times and such. Even though they were not 100% historical, they were fun games, very much. And the music, of course, like. The music for this game was composed very interesting way. I've been studying the audio design for this game for some time, and it was...
Hey, Lucky.
Hey, Mr. George knows Naruto and Kirby. That is good to see. How is going for you, Mr. George knows Naruto and Kirby? Hopefully all is going well. Like, the thing is with this YouTube thing, it's lovely to see some old fellas from old back times. Of course, meeting EB1560. Always nice to meet new people, but old people especially very lovely. Are you familiar with the Rome Total War soundtrack yourself? I've been myself studying the whole the design of this game very much, and the audio design of it. There's so much to learn from even for the newer games, because the thing is, if you look at the sound effects they had, like it gave me a huge appreciation
good, and yourself.
for the whole game, because like you even like you have like individual soldiers can like just like core, or like they can even like there's so many different voices. So like even for smallest of details, like some games they're just like battle scenarios, they don't put too much effort in the sounds or the music. Like if you go to battlefield, the music changes. If your troops starts marching, they change, and if you, of course, the battle intensifies, the music is very and very much aggressive. That's how it works. Very good. And yourself? All right. I suppose it has just been hard day overall. Just working on some stuff, and my eye is a little red because of infection stuff. Of course, I got it cleaned. It's going to be healed tomorrow, but feels nasty. So kind of, but it's lovely to have Rome Total War soundtrack to be listened. Hopefully your day is going lovely as well. As you said, very good. This game, I've been just listening too much when I played the soundtrack. Sometimes I cannot listen to too much any longer because I can already hear the sound in my head. But I tell you, it's good quality music. Invading the cities and such with this music all of it. The thing is that with this game is I think it was a big not sure actually. Let me see. Let me see how many copies it did sell. Sales were in the United States alone it sold 39,000 copies, 16 million, and in other places overall it sold 1.3 million. That's nice. And yeah, it was good. It was very, very lovely. And I do my father did purchase this, and he played it himself. Or he really likes the game. And I just caught up with that. I never heard about this title before. This was many years ago, 2004 it was. 2004 is it? Many years ago. 15 years? Yeah. But yeah, that's the story how I got my hands on it. And I've never really... I still play this game. There's still the Steam servers, I think, are still online. People are still playing.
1.3 M is a healthy amount. I wonder how much more was sold through Steam.
I think much more. And I actually repurchased it, of course, with Steam, because the old games you can... they didn't have Steam back in that time. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's still making some money. People are still purchasing it. Let me actually see the Steam number, how many people are currently playing this game. Let me see, because there's a way to do that. Steam charts Rome War. There's a way. Yeah, you can see the numbers. Steam is very nice. You can actually see how many people play the game. There's still all-time peak 4,000, not bad. So there are more people actually playing it all the time, kind of. In 2014, 2,000 players all the time. Which is not bad for an old game. It's not bad at all. I'm actually showing it to you. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Back in the day it was 1,000. For an old game, imagine this.
Hey Elias, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you doing yourself? I'm doing lovely. Kristen Anderson, lovely to have you on the stream. Lovely to have you on the stream. Have you been making... you said you are working some orchestral works. Has that been going well? But yes, I'm just currently listening lovely soundtrack by Jeff Van Dyck, one of my favorite soundtrack composers for video games. Excellent music all around, especially his older works.
I'm finally playing the new Spyro trilogy on Switch and I love it.
Oh, the reignited one. I need to get Switch at some point. Perhaps this December. This December, it's the time. Yes, I'm doing nicely, just working today on some the game I'm always doing, and some composition. I was able to compose, I'm currently making this album that's sort of fantasy vibe in it. And actually I made this Spyro music sounding track, which of course cannot be linked to Spyro because it's an original composition, but I took this kind of inspiration very much because I've made the Spyro remastered music from that. So I think when I'm going to release it,
trying a different recording method I never tried before, so I'll be getting on that soon.
Alright.
Hi there Eluukki, did you ever play Digimon World 3? It has some great background music.
I have to admit, I've not played Digimon World 3. It's this one. I have to just listen to this one. Ring a bell. Yeah, losing a battle is hard. Yeah, but for the question, I have not played Digimon World 3. Unfortunately, that is a thing. I have seen some people playing it. I think at some point I have to check it out. I was a big fan of the first one. I played it a lot. The second one looked like some random dungeon kind of thing. I'm not really happy about that. But the Digimon World 3, the music is great. Listen to that. Perhaps someday we could talk about that. Oh, you like the music? Oh, we're going to listen even more. Is the background volume alright for the background music? I'm going to actually get it a bit up there. I will show some of my favorite tracks from this. Also, listen here, trying to a different recording method I never tried before. What kind of recording method that is? Let me know. Are you recording with, are you actually playing the instrument yourself? Or, I actually saw this one guy who, played
I can hear the music fine.
Alright, lovely. Good. But the thing is, I see this one guy who played orchestral instruments by himself, recorded everything, and made it as an orchestral thing. That's actually. Oh, I wish I would have every orchestral instrument and I would know how to play them. Guitar is a hard one for me, but every single one I think I could. Violin, of course, it's the hardest. But anyways, yeah. Digimon World 3 sometime, perhaps White Bacardi. Welcome to the stream. Good, you can hear it. Let me share one thing which oh, actually this one. Did I just miss it? I think I just missed it. There's this one that I want to show to you. Which is very like that. One thing about this game, like all the games, they needed to be minimalistic in order to be able to. Of course, they couldn't make these lovely CGI animated cutscenes and have people act their scenes with human actors. They had to very much play with what they got, and they basically made these cutscene beginnings for factions when you started playing them in the campaign, and like the Greek campaign music. Actually, let me actually show you the intro with itself. This is Rome Total War Greek intro. This is a classic one. This is like my brother even, he knows this.
I'll be recording in pieces from my sequencer and piece it together in Mixcraft. Might make it a bit easier for me. Hopefully I'm not super skilled in orchestration lol, but I'm trying.
That is the thing. As long as you try, like the thing is, I was so bad in everything I did back in the day. I just have to work and like after you work on some time, you're going to just find out that you are going to be excellent in that if you work hard enough. I tell you, like that's when you would realize that it's going to be very good failing. But I wanted to show this Rome Total War Greek intro. This whole thing is like my brother knows how to say this word by word, because I mean like, are you going to like this one? Very minimal resources are done with, but like the thing is, it's lovely. It's lovely.
The Greeks could rule the world. Alexander did. He took a Greek army to the far Indus. There was nothing left to conquer. The world was his. But Alexander is dead. His empire is gone. And so we live in evil days. The free men of Greece have turned on each other instead of their proper enemies, those who envy all that Greeks have done. Alexander
yes,
must
you have
weep
to try it someday. You will love it.
I would weep in his place, but I would also hope. The world turns. What was may come again. The fates still spin the web of men's lives. So now, perhaps the gods will...
So yeah, this intro is like you see the minimalistic in it, but it's still like they do have quality. Like, every faction has this. Of course, some factions have the same, but like they have put quality, I think. In 2004, so yeah, not bad at all. This is the music for it, the original one, which I wanted to show you without the speech. Let me have it there. Like, the thing is that like the music and the detail, with even though like the minimal resources, back in the day games had to be clever. The games have to be clever. But like that nowadays they just have to have a big CGI cutscenes. Of course, there are still good games, I tell you, but like in the older times they were forced to very minimal resources to do as much as possible. Yes, you have to try that one day. You will love it. Is it that is still Digimon 3 this kind of there was this MMO type vibe, like you went to this internet place and stuff. Like I don't know. I've seen some of the content on it, but I'm not played it fully. And it has this kind of like turn-based action.
It was great music. I like the sounds of that piece.
Yes, indeed. It's distinct. That's the thing. It's very distinct. Let me actually show the. This one is also one of my favorite ones. That was a Greek intro. You can listen to it yourself if you go to the soundtrack. It's very good. Sometimes just listening in the background while working and studying and such can work. It can take you back to Roman times. But this one is also nice.
RTW had to deal with much of the hardware limitations at the time. Nowadays hardware is several-fold more robust.
Indeed so! Hardware. That was something that old games had to, like their memory limitations and all. Nowadays they can just make almost everything. Not all the things, but like they have all the PlayStation game kind of updates I've seen, like 60 gigabits every update and something like for some games. Like, man, so much data. And in future there's going to be terabits, everything, like every kind of detail in human face is going to be shown in the screen and such for the games and such. But I think the audio designing for some games, especially the strategy games which I've seen in later times, they have gone a bit more lazier than in the back in the day, because I just look at some of the sound design for this, especially in medieval Total War, like the campaign music and such. They made it so cleverly. Like, I've not seen any game do it afterwards like that, because the medieval Total War had these small little. Medieval Total War 2 has these small little themes, and they have like 50 of them, and they combined them all together to be this one big song, which always was sounding different, because of course it played like it shuffled themselves, their themes and such, but it still felt
My Kurzweil K2600 has some nice orchestral sounds, plus I have a hard drive full of more sounds, so I'll be exploring the sounds for a bit and find some I really like, then start recording.
Nice. It's good to find good sounds. How long this song is going to be? How long it's going to be? Let me know. I'm very much interested to see what kind of orchestral stuff you do. Let me actually, this is the music stream. Let me actually show you the Arabic Winter. This is like a very small melody, but I like the style of this. If I can get it now working. Work. There we go. No, not actually this one. Not actually this one. It's an Arabic Summer. Here we go.
To be honest, I have no idea, I just write, and when it ends I'll know when it's just something I do, I guess.
Something like that. This music is might not be the biggest favorites of all people, but I tell you, like, there's a lot of different kind of changes. Like, if you go to Rome now, let me try to find some Roman song. Like
awesome percussion in this piece.
Yeah, the percussion is lovely. But I like, that's the thing, like, go with the orchestration as long as you wanted to do. Of course, the freedom of your own composition is that you can just do it as long as you want to do. What kind of theme does it have? Like, does it like what kind of orchestration base you have for that? Like, do you have some kind of story based on it, or something? Let me know. But yes, the percussion is lovely, and let me tell you, like, the difference between some themes, like this is a Roman, like the last one was like Arabic song.
If you're going to get the switch lighted. That's the one I have.
Like a Roman song. Let me show you. And now my computer has stopped. Okay, now it's back. Here we go. The Roman themes and all the different, like the barbaric themes and such, like very different. Of course, they had limitations how many they could have, but the music sounded different for factions, and like the Roman was like very sober, but like some what's the word? This kind of had this sort of distant
I'm
sadness.
thinking of this orchestration being like a boss theme. It's inspired by both Souls and FZI. Also great guitar in that piece.
I did not notice. If you're going to get the Switch Lite, it's cheaper than one I have. But don't you want to have the bigger screen and such? Isn't it better? Like I suppose Lite is good, but like of course the bigger screen is better. I suppose. I'm not sure. Let me know. Is that actually better opinion to get the Switch Lite? Of course I would have to pay a little, but the thing is, it would be nice to have a bigger screen as well. I'm thinking of this orchestration being like a boss theme for. It's inspired by Soul. Oh, it's like a Dark Souls, like and then this sort of the orchestration in Final Fantasy 12. Very much a good combination. I think it's going to be interesting if what you do is something that is going to be something like that. But we shall see. Looking forward to see that. Like the thing is, more orchestration for game music is needed. Of course, there's the orchestrations are still used much more nowadays. But the thing is, orchestrations are kind of like they are not real orchestrations. They are not like actually made that they could be played by orchestra. It's played by this computer orchestra that does not even try to mimic the real orchestra. Like some Hollywood films and such. That's what they do, and I hate it. Like I know this is a composer. Like goddamn, that could never be really like it could be played, but it could be very simple in its execution. Not big fan of the simpleness of things. We have 4 people watching in YouTube land. That is lovely. Just to have people watching this lovely old game. Let me show actually still a few ones I wanted to show. Not just me talking about orchestration. I want to show this soundtrack for you, so you can actually go and listen it, because it's worth
Also
listening.
the thing is trying to find sounds that match what's in my head. Sometimes it's hard to find those sounds, gets frustrating at times.
I see.
Tell me, did you ever play the Pokemon games? Haha.
Pokemon games. Never.
It looks very
did
pretty for a
play
portable
them, I have
system.
to admit. It looks pretty for a portable system. I see. So there's a reason perhaps to get the light version. But yes, Pokemon. I've listened to soundtracks for it. Never played it. I did play the Pokemon the third game. It was kind of a mobile thing. I just played it with my brother one time, but like I never did finish those games. I have not played them like I really played them. Perhaps there's a few games we should play. Like some, they feel so similar to each other, I suppose. Is there kind of like standoff Pokemon games? I'm not sure. I did play Pokemon Stadium when it was for Nintendo 64. And that was fun. I remember finishing every single castle in that game and just becoming the biggest Pokemon master. Yeah. Yeah. Thinking, trying to find a song that match the what is. Yeah, like in orchestration, you cannot be fully perfectionist. I have to admit, like sometimes I just I need to find the right sound. But like the thing is, with limitations, like the only right sounds for orchestration you're going to find from real orchestra. Like that's the thing. Sometimes you have to just settle with the just normal sounds. Like that's just how the thing works, unfortunately. Let me show you some battle music from this game.
I've played every Pokemon game and I'm getting the new one coming next month.
Imagine this sort of music in Pokemon. That would be epic. I got a Charizard. The Pokemon, the one which is like this English setting, the Sword and Shield. I would actually purchase it if I would have the Switch. The thing is also the one thing I don't really like about it. Like I look at the legendary Pokemon. They like the the two dogs that one looks like a shield.
Banging drums, man, this OST has great percussion in it, plus the choir and strings are amazing.
Indeed so, and even like 2004, it's very surprising. They did find good instruments to really put into this, and yeah, it shows. If I want to find the epicness in a game music like this is I've not seen this sort of music in games afterwards, I have to say. There's the Pokemon, the Sword and Shield. I was never a big fan of the I would like to get into it, but also the news about the smaller Pokédex.
I wish I had choirs like this could come in handy.
Oh boy, good choirs. Those are the hardest ones to find. I cannot find the best choirs. With the choirs is as well like if you have these kind of instruments, you cannot control them all the while. Like usually the good choir instruments, like they are samples or something like that, you can like use yourself, and they're already kind of pre-recorded. There are of course some visual instruments that have that, but then they're too instrument sounding. Like that's the thing. I have few ones which sound like human people, but they are rare. They are rare, I tell you. But there's the Pokemon game now to really show what it's going to be. Like there was this Pokédex scandal a few months ago about it and such. I was actually thinking perhaps getting into Pokemon games much more, but like, I'm waiting for the reviews until I get it. Waiting for the reviews. Because yeah, I want to become a Nintendo guy now. Because like PlayStation 4 is becoming worse and worse and worse all the time with its offerings, and PC, like I feel like a PC peasant because I don't have the best graphical qualities in my graphics card and stuff. Like I have like a medium tier. It's not like the poorest of the poor, and I don't really care about the thing. Like that's the thing. But the thing is, some games I really want to play, my computer is just like just going with its last breath. It's having hard time, and I'm having hard time if I can't really enjoy the game because of the graphics, which are like they're too hard. We have 3 viewers in Twitch land. We have people into Twitch land and 6 people in YouTube land. Now we have over 10 people watching. That is lovely. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, you perhaps might have came for this lovely soundtrack. Let me show a few other ones I want to show. Oh, this one is the credit
There
song
is a
for...
good choir on East West. I think that's what the site was called, but it's pretty expensive. Pokemon games are great and you'll get addicted to them.
Pokemon games can be great. I suppose one problem I've seen, perhaps potential problem, I'm not sure because I've not played the games. They're a bit similar in a sense that they don't change much, and that's kind of a staple for them. Like they are like Dragon Quest franchise. Like they of course they change, but not too much to be like it's still recognizable. It's like, oh, I remember this game and such. Like if you even purchase a new game, but does it change too much? I want hard games. I want the challenging games. Is Pokemon game a challenge? I'm not sure. I want to get into Sword and Shield to perhaps see that. Oh, this song I wanted to show you. It's this. Actually, Romero War Forever. This is a credit song I actually really like. It's this.
This OST has great guitar pieces as well, like the sound of the guitars.
The quality of the sound. Oh yeah. Very good quality, and I've even used some of the same instrument he has in the medieval Total War 2, especially. I had some similar, like the Native American instruments, such. Ooh, very nice in those. I might listen to that one day. Do subscribe if you want to see that later on. But yes, I wanted to show this one. This is a credit song for Road
Yes, very challenging.
It is. How come? Is it like you have to plan well? I'm not sure. Anyways, this one I want to show, it's basically a credit song. If you like, this is only made for the credit scene. And you know, the credits scrolling down. Nothing more. It's based on the one of the theme that you can hear in menu, but oh man, I wish more games would have like more like credit, like catchy credit themes. Like this is very nice song. Credit song, just for credit. Like the thing is, this song of course continues more, and the thing is, this whole game is about like a war and warfare, people fighting and such. The thing is, this song is kind of like what is the price of the war? Like the thing is, like the whole game is all about like I did play this game. I controlled armies and such. And I know this is 110 thing when I was even younger. I played it like. You could see like people dying, but you don't really care about. Like, of course, they are computer numbers, but like, I started to feel like, hey man, actually, the real world generals, like they just think like soldiers' numbers, and it's just like you don't really think it as a war, really, like when you just order them around.
This percussion is great, and the singing in it. I know Dragon Age Origins has a great credit theme. I always loved it. I think I shared it on Discord a while back.
I remember that.
Especially in the competitive modes they have is very hard in poke mode.
Let me know if it must be
And remember this above all, our Roman gods are watching. Make sure they are not machines!
How can I wait on knowing? This is the price of war. We rise with noble intentions, and we risk all that is pure. We are only as great as our hearts will allow. What awaits us?
I do like this theme a lot. And yes, sorry if our connection went away and somebody's trying to destroy my connection there. The government is on me. Something like that.
Even the synth sounds are good in this
Yes, indeed.
piece.
Of course, it made it kind of this popular song. It's kind of like it doesn't feel fully Roman, of course, but like, still. Lovely song, lovely credit song. I know from few games some lovely credit songs. We can listen to them later, but let me actually... The Dragon Age song, I remember that one. That was very nice. Like some games actually put the effort to credit songs, and actually they are based, of course, from the songs that are from the game, but they have like singing, and it's beautiful. And I think this is a very good piece, because when you control these armies, of course, like... as again, general, you don't generally care about anything but that, but like this, for me, it really gave this kind of feeling that, actually people might actually, like, imagine if those would be real people. Would you still care if they would, like, you know that those would be real people and dying and such? Like, Very, very nice. And I think it was composed by Jeff Van Dyck, of course, but the singer was his wife, if I remember right. Like we were looking at this. This was right. Jeff Van Dyck, composer, and Angela Van Dyck. So like they have like his wife is singing the song. Like that's very nice. I wish. I still don't have a wife, and I'm not yet having a singer girlfriend. But like, man, would be lovely to have a girlfriend who would be able to, sing songs and either play some songs. What I do would be very lovely. So, dating world.
The singing in Dragon Age credit song was in a different language.
Oh, in different language, like a French or something. Or in the Dragon Age language. Is there like a fantasy language? I don't actually remember the song right on my mind. Anyways, let me go back to still the normal soundtrack. If you want to hear. The Roman gods are watching. Make sure they are not ashamed. I'll be trying to do the same pose as the poster guy. Something like that. Oh no, I had this feature. YouTube will say it's like a video post. Are you actually watching? God damn it. I am watching this, goddamn. Of course I am.
Hey. I don't know really, but it's called I Am the One. You should try Mario Kart, it's cool.
Mario Kart? I've tried Mario Kart. I have to admit, not the biggest fan of that sort of driving. I'm not trying the newest games. I remember trying to play that, but I've played these food driving games. Like, of course, this is not that very enjoyed one by many. But this was this Jack Axe, Jack and Daxter made this driving game, and it was very fast-paced. There were guns, people shot at each other, and of course Mario Kart it kind of mimicked some of the things from that. But like Mario Kart feels slow, like the driving game, like that game got it kind of like a good feel for the whole thing. I was not a big fan of when I tried to after they played that game, but I just not a big fan of that. But I haven't tried the newest one. Might have some fun with that. But I just feel like there's this few things which you have to get good in driving games. It's kind of that Jack Axe very much like the driving and stuff. I really like that compared to Mario Kart. At least on my opinion. I'm not sure the newer games. Hey Ahmed eluukkanen. Actually, in Finnish language. Your surname could be like eläkehalli, basically pension hall. Eläkehalli. Good to see. But anyways, lovely to meet again. Old faces, old little kind of people. I don't know if it's called Dragon Age is something could be getting into the soundtrack of that later on. I want to get to interviews of these people. I have currently I'm trying to get interview with 2 people. I was able to actually get Age of Empire guy to respond to me, but I'm just waiting the next response. I would really want to interview that guy, like Age of Empires. Imagine like that composer. Ooh, would be very interesting to hear his story. I really think he has a unique taste in his music. What kind of music we could play here? We could still.
This OST overall is just amazing.
I have to agree with you. That's why I really wanted to share this. Do go and listen it. Go and play it. Go and just perhaps read, work, study at the same time, or even just have it on your earpod and while you are on the bus or something. You're going to get in the room and fear. I actually show one thing which is like a Roman intro. This sort of intro scene. This is actually a really fun one, which summarizes. This actually summarizes the game excellently, and it's still like a cinematic experience. They actually used some time to make this cutscene look good because it was an important prologue So yes, let me put my volume off and you enjoy.
The year is 329 BC. Italy. Warring city-states vie for power and superiority over their neighbors. The Senate and people of Rome control the Latin states, but enemies surround them. The Republic stands at a crossroads in history.
Romans, senators, friends. Latium is firmly under the rule.
Oh man, I do. Oh, this so nostalgic. But I tell you, like, very well done. Intro prologue thing.
Not since noble Brutus drove out the last king have we known such a glorious day. But now, my friends, in this hour of glory, we must be on our guard. To the south, treacherous Greeks and Samnites block our trade. Tarquinii groans beneath the tyrant's heel. That tyrant threatens Rome. Will we abandon Tarquinii? And now barbarians raid from the north, burning and pillaging Roman lands. Shall we let danger fester and grow? Or will we act as Romans, with courage and dignity? Remember, we are the sons of Mars!
I like learning different music, helps me in writing overall. Anyway, are the sounds form this OST from an actual orchestra, or is it something else?
Relieve Tarquinii. All those in favor say aye.
Oh man, this cutscene is always gives me the chills. I adore it. And if this doesn't get you to play this, I think nothing will. Like, it's like this cutscene, just like you could see the in-game the war scene. Like you could actually control those horsemen and people like that in that game. Oh man, very very lively. I like learning different music. Helps me writing overall and way of sound form. Indeed, so it's like reading. You need to listen a lot of different stuff. I have recently had this kind of I've really tried to like listen to some older tracks like Chrono Trigger and some classics like Zelda and such, like from the game music that I have not played myself. Like I have not played Chrono Trigger and such. I still try to kind of listen it, but just recently haven't found something that could resonate with me from the old even some popular games. Perhaps I have to look even harder. That being few months, like just 2 months ago, I don't remember the name of it, the soundtrack, but I saw this soundtrack, which was like this game that was kind of like a post-apocalyptic game that had a soundtrack that was only composed with violins only, and with string instruments, and oh boy, it was like, these are the unique soundtracks that people should listen. I want to share it to you, but I don't remember the name of it just yet. How much do we have stream? We have streamed over 1 hour. That is lovely. I think that is... we're going to still listen a little bit, but I think I'm going to be getting this to the end. I think that was a good ending cutscene thing. Nothing to add out there. We have 5 people watching from YouTube and 3 people from... Oh, very, very nice. Very, very nice. What will I say? Go and listen it right now. Stop everything you're doing. If you're driving a car, just... go to the side of the road or something. If you're doing anything, just put this
Check
on.
your history for the YouTube link to the game.
Check your history for the YouTube link to the game.
Is what I do.
Ooh. Yeah, but the thing is, like, my YouTube history is just like millions of years. Like, if I go 1 month, like, it's like... I'm not watching all the time YouTube videos, but I'm listening in the background different videos, and it's just... I need to just... let me actually try to find it now in the end of the stream. Hello there, sir. Tree, get to say it. Again, new old people that I know. Yeah. Good to see some old folks. And not old like you are not, of course, a senior or anything. Oh, wow, do I not? It's internet. You might be just some 60 years old guy. I don't know. Don't get it too seriously. I try to joke I'm bad at this, but anyways, what was the game? Violin. This is sort of. It was something called with magic. Let me actually try to think of it. It was. The art style was very similar to this Age of Empires sort of. Let me try to. There's this word for Age of Empires, the art style of it. What's the position? It's the whole thing. It's like
So are the sounds from the Rome OST and actual orchestra or instruments from a synth or something else?
Just quickly, let me try to find the name for the game first time. Age of Empires. It's going to be copied on Egyptian. What's the word for the I don't know. I remember the word.
I heard a theory that the legend Spyro and the Skyladers Spyro are in the same timeline as the original Spyro.
Not really sure about those theories. They might be. I'm not sure. I have not played Skylanders. I did play the Legend of Spyro, and man, that's one experience. So are some sounds from the Romos actually orchestra instruments? I think there's some sound combination. I'm not sure fully, but they might have had a place to actually record them in an orchestra, but I doubt, because in the sequel they had. I can confirm that they had visual instruments to play those. I'm not sure. I'm not fully sure. But the thing is, the composers don't tell that I've used this and this and this. They don't tell it. It's like a magic trick. You have to figure it out yourself. And I've not yet figured that out. But anyways, that's a thing. Let me still listen one song over here. Imagine, like, there's all these moments, like, imagine invading a city with a siege ladder. People just like these are the kind of memories, at least I get from listening to this. So, yes.
This current song is triggered when combat begins between two units of differing factions in a battle.
I'm not actually so sure on the triggers on that. That's actually very interesting. That could be. The thing is that they had a very good sound design. Like the individual sound, they were even farting sounds for individual soldiers. Like I just checked all the audio files, and as such you could mine that information. So like they used a lot of time. There might be.
This music can easily draw you in.
Indeed. So it's a worth game to try out. But like, the Steam version is kind of a nasty thing. You need to a simple line of code in able to make it work. So it's a risk. If you buy it, you might not get it to work. So that's the thing. There are some guides that could help you, but I'm not sure. I just found some code lines somewhere and put it there, and it worked. But yeah, it doesn't automatically work if you try to purchase it from Steam, which is very bad. I'm not sure on the triggers, but I think it's kind of a playlist. I think they don't trigger. I think the whole is kind of the music is designed in a way that there's the waiting music. Then when your troops move, there's the marching music, and then there's the battle music. Those are the kind of a playlist that shuffle in the game. I think it's not the trigger. So you might know more about this, though. Let me know if you do. We try to find still something lovely. Divinitas is nice, but I think we could have this main theme still. get this sound of ancient feel from the soundtrack. I tell you, like ancient. It feels like the song is called Reime Romhoichku. This is one of the main menu themes. It feels very like it does not feel like just some Hollywood music playing in the background. Like the composer I think used some time to actually make this feel Rome, and that's the kind of thing. One thing I want to actually share before we end this, I'm going to put this on the end. I just say, go and listen to this soundtrack. And actually even play this game. They both are very excellent. Soundtrack is even for free on YouTube. You can just listen it and enjoy it like as we did here. If you have not seen this soundtrack, I think it's one of the game classic soundtracks. Like there are these Mario games and Pokemon games. They're also good music, but this, if you have even slight idea of a real-time strategy and want to know what kind of music that was made in 2004 for this, go and listen. And you can actually play this even for, I think, from Android, from Apple mobile phones. I think you can purchase it and play this old game with that. I've not yet done it, but playing with iPad with this game, oh man, I want to try it at some point. I've not used much iPad yet or something, but let me share this one still thing. I actually one time made some music for this relative RTS game, which is now the developer is kind of releasing this new trailer for it, and I like he's basically the developer is not full-time game developer, so but the game was big success in I think for mobile thing. It's still like a very new trailer and such a very few views, but it's a very lovely game of strategy which kind of mimics the Rome Total War strategy kind of game vibe, and yours truly has composed music for it, of course.
Man, this OST just gets better and better. The timpi rolls at the start and how everything comes together just so much in this OST.
Indeed so. The OST for this, for Rome Total War, it came together very nicely. But this is it, like I'm just putting a little advertisement on this because I tell you, like, of course I've composed music for this Samurai Wars called. This is Samurai Wars. Thing is, it's an old game that the developer is still making. They're developing it alone, and he has kind of a full-time job, so he cannot put all the time on it. But however, it's still very lovely. Like with mobile games, I played with one of my friends, and of course I've made music for it. But I still like playing it because it feels like the old Rome Total War games. And now you can play it with Android phones. I think there's not yet a Windows version for it. Oh, there's the warstage.net. You can go there and play it. Let me actually try it out. Warstage.net. So you can actually play it. Let me see. Perhaps one stream we could actually do that. We could play each other with each other over here. Let me just show it how it works. Yeah, I think you can see it now. Yeah, you can. Yeah, lovely. What happened? Something happened. Let me actually go back. So, like, you can go for free to warstage.net and play this. You can actually play it with Windows. That's very nice. Let me show it how it works. The practice mode. Go. Kill. Spill the blood of our enemies. Shoot. You can like control these units like you can draw the...
Oh damn, you telling me I can get my ass kicked by you? Sign me up.
Oh, that would be lovely one day. I unfortunately need to move today for some other things, but would be lovely to play with stream with all that. Would be very lovely. And this is a free game, very lovely. Try out. Those graphics are for more. Still the game is it feels like Rome in kind of mobile sense, and it's kind of a Japan aesthetic. You have different strategies. Of course, I just clashed all the troops together, which is not very wise. But you can have like very different maps. You can even have a map editor and such. I really like this game. Even though like, I of course do some music for it, but it's something you should be checking out. Archer spawned in. Oh. Like this is not those mobile games that like make you pay and stuff. Like this is actually for free. Like there's no microtransactions and stuff. So that's another thing. I just wanted to say if there's any Rome fans over here. And Zor, Perhaps next stream we can play this, because I just realized I could actually play this now. Because the thing is, I unfortunately need to go offline. The thing is, go and check this out. Wargaming, what was the address? Oh.
There are games similar to this on PS4.
I suppose. Warstage.net. Yeah, but I've seen some mobile games and some, like, this is not actually cheaply done. Like they actually have the strategical sense made by
I
one
had
developer.
to do
Very nice.
something what I miss.
Had to do something I miss. I see. Thing is, that's all about this. Go and check it out. With the support the developer, of course. It's and yours truly has made soundtrack for it. You can check the soundtrack at Spotify/eluukkanen if you are wanting to hear some Japanese war music, of course. Not in similar to Rome, but still it's war strategy game music. But anyhow, that's all for today. Go and listen to Rome Total War, check out warstage.net, and of course, if you want to support me and follow this channel, and go to Spotify, listen to some music I've done some music myself. I'm a composer. So that's all. Wherever you are, I wish you a good day. See you later. Let's add some ending music. Let's add the credit theme to the end. Whoa.
What awaits us?
Okay, see you later. See your Elias, have a good one, yeah.